Children are not content. Please remember that your children cannot consent to being in your content. I felt this really important to share as I have a series going viral right now that talks about children and safety on the internet. I love that you love your kids and want to share them, but please really think about what is being shared and who's receiving it.
I know some of you all will agree with me that there are some mothers that have made their children to be like a business making machine. Having kids for them now is the way they generate money, the way they earn a living. They use their kids for content, and some are actually doing it intentionally, and they put it out there just to get views and to actually, get popular, and to also get brand deals as well. They use their children, their babies, for making money. I don't think there's anything wrong with you having your child and posting their picture or their video on the internet. It's your decision to do whatever you want to do with your own child and posting them on the internet. But trying to make money out of it, that is where the problem is. And a lot of mothers are used to doing this thing. It has been a trend here in 2023. You see some mothers just for trend, just for viral videos, they'll just go ahead and post their child content like that. Even something they're not supposed to post, they'll post it. Some go as far as posting their child in the bathroom, and when you go to those posts on TikTok, you see so many comment section, you see so many people saying rubbish, and they will still leave those posts like that to show you that they just want the engagement. They do not care about their child's future or whatever is going to happen to their child, or whoever is going to come and track the child and get to the house. Let me know your thoughts about this particular children being a content or not. Let me know your thoughts about it down in the comment section. Hey beautiful people, my name is Maria Davis and I'm back again with another interesting video. So this video is for people that are mothers, especially, that go as far as posting their child on the internet for content's sake, to make money or to be viral or to be popular. This particular video is for them, and I have few stitches to share with you all, and I want you all to sit down, relax and watch. Let me hear your thoughts and opinion about this particular video down in the comment section. I'll come and talk about my own opinion at the end of all the stitches.
Children are not content. Please remember that your children cannot consent.
And they might just grow up to resent you for it. I'm a journalist and I just wrote this story, Influencer Parents and the Kids Who Had Their Childhood Made into Content. And it is dark, to say the least. One of the people I talked to for this story is Claire, who first went viral when she was just a toddler. Now she's a teenager and she spent her entire life on her family's YouTube channel and encased in this social media stardom that she didn't even choose. Claire told me that when her family's channel first started making money, her parents both quit their jobs. And once when she told her dad that she didn't want to do the channel anymore, her dad said, okay, but we're going to have to sell our house, sell the car. Your mom and I are going to have to go back to work. We're not going to have money for nice things. Claire isn't 18 yet, but when she is, she's thinking about going no contact with her parents and coming out about her real name and real identity. She also told me that if she could tell her parents anything, she would say, nothing they do now is going to take back the years of work I had to put in. Also, hair is a mess today. I hope it's giving like Serena van der Woodsen, but I don't think it is. Anyway, the wild thing is that it's not just young people whose online presence was monetized that are having this issue. So I also talked to Cam, whose mom had 10,000 Facebook followers about a decade ago and would share some really intimate stuff about Cam on her page. I've seen screenshots. There were pictures of Cam in the hospital with details about the medication that Cam was taking or the issues that they were having. One time Cam even came home and saw a Facebook message from an older man who said, I just saw you out riding your bike with your friends. And Cam said that made them really worried about even going outside at all. And this was only with 10,000 followers. Like, think about the kids who have parents who have millions of followers. When I asked Cam what their mom posted on Facebook, Cam said it would be easier to tell you what she didn't post. And now they don't even go by their real name because they don't want people to be able to look up their digital footprint. The other thing that's bananas about this whole thing is that there are no legal protections for influencer kids. So their parents have no legal obligation to save any amount of money that they make off of content featuring their child. So these kids can spend their entire lives online and having that monetized, and then get to adulthood and nothing is saved for them. I talked to Sarah from Mom Uncharted, and she said it almost feels like exploiting your child has become a career choice. If you have a baby now, you have a new career opportunity. I have a lot more to say about this story, but you should go read the full thing on teenvogue.com. Again, this is the story, and if you have any questions, leave them below. Let's talk about this. It's past time.
Children are not content.
You guys know I love this topic, and please know it comes from a place of education and love and not judgment. But that being said, if you are watching this and you feel convicted to maybe adjust how you share your children online, that's great. But this is not an invitation to be a dick in my comment section, because I don't like that. I've spoken about it before. I did have my children and their images stolen, and someone role played with them. I found it very unsettling and I did not like it. But it also opened sort of a can of worms, because once you start to learn about the ways in which children are exploited online on this app and all the way across the internet, not just here, it's really hard to then comfortably share your children online. But one of the most common forms of feedback that I get from people is they'll say, yeah, naturally it makes sense that you wouldn't share your kids online because you have a huge platform, right? That wouldn't make sense. But the thing is that, one, most of the time when people DM me and tell me stories about what happened to them, it's someone they know in real life. It's someone that they were Facebook friends with, someone they went to high school with. Sometimes it's a family member who takes their photos and role plays that with them, or unfortunately is a predator that they find out later on. And so I think sometimes people, like for me, I have to conceptualize my following by saying, this is the equivalent of 27 sold out Fenway Parks. So my brain can physically see the number of eyes that are on my page, because sometimes you just forget when it's just a number on a screen, right? So people say, oh, I only share my kids with my 200 Facebook followers, or people I grew up with, or, family members, or someone I went to high school with or college with, or met sometime at a work event. And people think that they know them, because I think the word friend online also just makes your brain think, oh, yeah, friends. We're friends. I can trust this person, even though it literally just means digital connection. So what I say to people all the time is, I'm like, okay, yeah, if you want to share this moment of your kid, think, would I share this in front of, 200 people? Put them on the bleachers in a gymnasium. Would you have your kid have an emotional breakdown in front of them? No, you'd be like, yeah, this feels like a private moment. Maybe we should step somewhere private. Or, hey, you're potty training. Maybe I shouldn't put you on a toilet in front of 200 people watching you, because that is insane. But we forget that those are real eyeballs and these are real people that they're watching. And then people will be like, well, I just want to share so I can help someone else. But how does helping someone else trump the safety and protection of your own kid? And again, I know sometimes people get really mad when I talk about this, because I had this happen to me. I was naive enough to think that I could trust the internet with things, and I learned it the hard way, and people are quite judgmental and unkind to me when I talk about it. And so I know that this will inevitably have some level of hate come with it. But if I had to be the dick so that you could learn better, I am happy to fall on my sword, because I never want another parent to go through having their kids' photos stolen, or thankfully I caught it before it went anywhere sketchy, but I can't ever get those images back. And so there are so many great pages. Barrett, who I am duetting, and Mom Chart is another great one. But take your kids off the internet.
Children are not content. Please remember that your children cannot consent to be.
Okay, I saw this on my For You page and I immediately knew that I had to stitch it. I actually recently did a fairly long video on this topic, specifically as it pertains to child labor laws. I'm not going to focus on all of the privacy and consent stuff, although we do go into that in the video. I actually just want to talk about the labor law aspect, because I don't think a lot of people realize the massive philosophical and legal step backwards that children creating monetized content in the way they currently are actually represents. So a lot of people are probably aware that in Hollywood, there are a lot of really strict laws and regulations around how children can be used in film and television production. And even with all of those protections, a lot of people still come out really, really messed up from the experience. But there are nominally laws around how long they can work, what has to happen to their money, who protects them, etc. But it's important to note that those laws are actually A, pretty exceptional, and B, also not something that was always a given. Prior to a lot of those laws being created, both in Hollywood and more generally, child labor was generally quite acceptable. And more importantly, children were seen as an extension of their parents. Like, leaving aside the issue of consent, children didn't need to render consent. If their parents wanted to put them to work, they could. Of course, now child labor is outlawed in a lot of cases, and Hollywood is one of the rare areas where it is accepted, but with all of those aforementioned laws and regulations. And when you think about how many children are not just appearing in actual advertisements in the form of sponsored content on their parents' pages, but are more generally just crucial parts of a brand that is itself a business and heavily monetized, you can see that it's not just a step back in terms of the actual labor protections, because let's be clear, there are almost no regulations around how children can be used in this capacity. It also represents a very fundamental shift backward toward how we used to perceive children in labor, which is to say that children are just an extension of their parents, and if their parents want to monetize them in any way, they're entitled to do so. Part of this is because we don't think of online creation as labor, although I can assure you, as someone who's been in this industry for her entire adult life, it very much is. But it's also because we've conflated these accounts with essentially just snapshots into people's personal lives and therefore the domain of the personal and not the professional. But for an enormous number of content creators, this is their profession, and therefore their children are effectively unpaid and unregulated contractors. I do hope and to some extent believe that we will see a large swath of child labor regulations as it pertains to the content space, similar to the way we did in Hollywood. But in order for that to happen, we have to actually A, remember that this content creation, especially when monetized, is labor, but B, and more importantly, that children are not just subsidiaries of their parents subject to working whenever their parents decide. We came to this conclusion as a society almost 100 years ago about many other industries, and it's time to do the same for the online.
Thank you all for sticking around to this point. If you're still here, don't forget to like and share your thoughts and opinion about this particular topic down in the comment section. So, as I said, it is your choice to decide to post your child on the internet if you just want to post them. But the way the internet is going now, the way everything is going, I feel like it's advisable for you to be minimal in the way you put your child on the internet, child free and everything on the internet. But then that is not even the case. The case is for people that post some things they're not supposed to post just because they want to go viral. I saw a video on TikTok yesterday. It's an old video, but the video went viral then. The mother was trying to get a thumbnail from her son, and she was like, cry, rest on my shoulder and cry, do your face like this, I'm trying to get thumbnail. And the child was going through a lot, and you were still like, the child was like, I'm crying, mom. And like, yes, just show it to your face, like cry, trying to just for internet's sake, just to make money, just to make people feel sorry for you. But your child personally is going through a lot, but you were not even bothered about it. And there are tons of videos that I've seen as early this year as well. There was a time that a mom and a dad were playing prank on their child, and they kind of covered the child with a flinch or something, that white stuff to wrap food and everything. They covered the child with it, and they were laughing. Even the child was crying, they were laughing. Even there are some viral videos that is going on now, egg cracking on the face on children. You just they do it like a prank. You want to bake with your child and you just crack the egg on their head. The child start crying and the mother start laughing, and they are posting it on the internet, and many more. The one that even very annoying is the bathroom on while you're having your child, you're bathing your child, or you're trying to advertise a soap or a particular toy or something. You go to the bathroom, and the comment, the saves on those videos are alarming. And when you sit down and read those comments, you see that there are men that they just want to, that just love small children. Those are the men that are on those pages, that they are watching those particular videos back to back. And it is just so sad because some people don't even see, some others are not even seeing it. What they are concerned about is how much is coming into their account, how much they can use their child to make. I'm not saying don't post your child on the internet. Use your child. You went through 9 months and a whole 2 years to breastfeed your child. That is your business. But when the child grows up, how would the child feel seeing their video on the internet like that? The way the internet is going to really get worse, and a whole lot. That I just want to know your thoughts about this down in the comment section. I personally don't really like seeing those children videos because it's really annoying. you know. But then everybody has their opinion about this particular topic. Let me know your thoughts and opinion down in the comment section, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe and all of that good stuff. And of course, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.